Hello again, people. I am Blunty, and this, of course, is a Nintendo 2DS. We're still a few days out from its official hitting the shelves status. Launch is the word I'm looking for there. But Nintendo of Australia have been kind enough to let me borrow one for a review. And today I thought, well, I might as well do an unboxing, seeing as I've got nothing else planned video-wise for today. And when I tweeted out a little picture of it on my Twitter, I said, hey, look what's just arrived. I don't know whether I should do an unboxing or not. A lot of excited people responded saying, well, yes, please do an unboxing because we are hungry for more information on the Nintendo 2DS. So here we are. Now, first up, let's do this because it's the less exciting of the two. For use with the picture of the 2DS. It's the case for those of you, Christ, I can't speak today, worried about the exposed screens as opposed to the foldable 3DS versions. There's a little neoprene case here they supply, which is lovely and padded inside. It's got a little lippy thing for a few games. Just one sided, so 3 games, all smooth and fuzzy and stuff to protect it. Although, quite honestly, a lot of people are freaking out saying, oh, it doesn't fold, the screens are going to get scratched up, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? My original Game Boy didn't fold. Its screen was fine. My Game Boy Advance didn't fold. Its screen was fine. My Game Boy Advance SP, well, its screen, it did fold and its screen was... What I'm saying here is I've had a lot of Nintendo products that have all had exposed screens, and none of them have I ever scratched or damaged the screen on in any way. Nintendo know how to make a product with a decently rugged screen. I don't think we're going to have a problem, especially since this has been designed with a younger audience in mind. I don't think that Nintendo would be dumb enough to put a particularly fragile screen on these units. So, anyway, that out of the way, that's stupid criticism aside. Actually, let's have a look at the back of the box first. What do we get? Actually, we know what we're going to get. I'm going to show you in a second. So, yeah, there's nothing else really exciting on there. I do like the blue one better, I think. I haven't seen the blue one in person, but in pictures, I think I like it better because the blue one has a black face with the blue stripe down the side. It just looks a little more dramatic, a little more serious. And I am just going to run and get a knife because these are all taped up. Give me a second. Scalpel, nurse. Scalpel! And see, I'm doing there to take up time, but what I could have done is just edit it or sped that up or something. But I'm lazy today. I'm try and do this in one take, maybe with a couple of cuts, depending on how often I screw up. So, charger. It is, of course, exactly the same charger as you get with any other 3DS. It's nice and standard, I think, yeah, same voltage and everything, so you don't have to worry that if you're replacing or using this as an additional unit to your existing DS collection, you can swap and change the chargers, no problem, of course, because Nintendo are kind like that. Some other companies might not be so kind. And we got the manual, we got the AR cards, of course, and the Nintendo Club points card thing, which I might be a bit cheeky and steal before I send it back to Nintendo. No, I shouldn't do that, should I? I should be respectful because they were kind enough to let me borrow this thing in the first place. So yeah, there we go. And one of Nintendo's classically awkwardly folding origami boxes, because if there's one thing the Japanese are good at, it's origami. He said, being horribly racist. Actually, no, they are good at origami. They invented the damn thing. Of course they're good at it. That's not racist, is it? It's true. So, here we go. Here is the 2DS. I had a brief hands-on with this at the EB Expo, and as soon as I held it, it felt really, really comfortable. It's what Nintendo want to call a slab form factor, I think, or a slate form factor, I think they told me, one or the other. I can't remember which was which. But it is surprisingly comfortable because you don't sort of balancing it down on the edge here like you are with the other 3DSs, because they've got the foldable screen and all the controls are down on this part here. So it balances really, really nicely. It fits in my hand lovely. The slider here feels a bit more grippy than the other 3DSs. I'll have to check that in a minute. I've got them sitting over the side here for a comparison. But aside from that, all the buttons and layout and all that sort of stuff are pretty much exactly what you'd expect. Actually, they feel exactly the same. Power button there. Sleep slider right here. Now, this is what you will need to use if you have a game, like I think one of the Zelda games, I can't even remember which one it was, requires you to close the 3DS at one point to be able to solve a puzzle. You close it, put the thing to sleep, and open it up. Of course, this one can't close, so this is how you get around that. It's asleep. It does exactly the same thing as closing a normal 3DS does internally as far as the software is concerned. Doing that is the same as closing your unit, so there's no worries about unsolvable puzzles because you have to close the... it's ridiculous. Of course Nintendo thought of that. They're not idiots. They've been doing this for quite a while now. So, microphone down there, and power light there, power button there, a little light up there for your indications and stuff for your networking and things like that. SD card around the side here. Now, this is, if I remember correctly, a 4GB, yep, SD card. So we'll pop that in there, same as you get in the 3DS XL and all that sort of stuff. Volume slide around there, and two great big shoulder buttons up the top there, which are great and lovely. You can't miss them. Oh, actually, they're really comfortable too. They've got a very slight concave to them. My finger fits in there really, really well. And cartridge slot up top there. I think that's the IR port. And your charger there. So that's that. I'm going to move the camera angle and we're going to get some direct comparisons with the other models. Alrighty then, and we're back. I took a few minutes to set up the 2DS here so we could have the same thing displayed on each of these screens, in this case the eShop, and I've also turned the brightness on all these machines up to the level 5, the maximum setting, so we can get an even comparison between the screen brightness and such as well. Interesting fact, by the way, on the 2DS, these aren't two screens. There's actually one screen behind this panel. All they've done is sort of divided it to give you the dual screen setup. This is one of their cost-saving measures on the 2DS. Instead of having to manufacture two different screens, manufacture one screen and just artificially divide it so it suits the standard system layout. So let's get to it. Size comparison. There's my new Pokemon X and Y DSi XL, by the way, which I bought just yesterday because I'm very, very excited about that game, as you may have picked up from the video yesterday, all about Pokemon X and Y. So we'll get that out of the way for the moment, and we'll look at the two standard ones. So we'll open them up there, and as you can see, we should be able to see, these are exactly the same screen sizes. Let's see if I can find something to prove that to you, because the layout makes it a bit difficult to see. So if we go corner to corner there, whoops, I activated something, corner to corner there, and corner to corner there, corner to corner there. So these are exactly the same screen size setups, and as you can see, they're pretty evenly lit as well. They're about the same. If I got the two now, I'm just making sure I got that turned all the way down so there's no weirdness. That's something you can do with the 2DS, by the way. If you film sort of game reviews and stuff like that, this might be the easier option for you as well, because the screens are both sitting on the same plane. There's no 3D sort of effect to screw up your camera or anything like that. So yeah, it might be a good idea for you game reviewers out there who don't have a specially hacked 3DS with a video output and a capture card and all that sort of rigmarole. This will make filming your game demos and reviews much, much easier, by the way. So now about that, yeah, this feels slightly more rubbery, but that could be because I've worn this one down more by playing it. I don't know, but they're very, very close to feeling the same. All the buttons feel the same. The D-pad is a little bit different. This is the newer D-pad, which will probably be the same as that one, I think. But yeah, very, very similar sort of setup as far as all the things except the 3D goes. The cameras are the same. I'll test those out in the full review and stuff like that. I'll do some side-by-side comparisons and stuff if you guys want. But yeah, so that's the 3DS and 2DS side-by-side. Now, the 3DS XL and 2DS side-by-side. Now, as you can see, of course, we've got the huge difference there. What is this, 90% bigger? I can't remember. 50%, 90% bigger, something like that. Anyway, huge by comparison. Brightness is about the same, and yeah, these D-pads feel a lot more similar, although this one is a little more spongy, actually. This is more clicky, this is more spongy. So if you're really, really particular about your D-pads, you might want to check these out in-store in a demo unit before you purchase, because you never know, you might not like it or you might like it more, because there is definitely a different feel there between the two. Yeah, these feel pretty much identical, so it is the... I just wore down the, the circle pad on the other machine, a bit smoother it seems like. And yeah, buttons feel the same. Oops, what did I go into there? I selected something. So yeah, that's is the obvious main difference there. So thickness wise, we're looking at come on, let me refocus and change the plane. So thickness wise, the it's about the same at its thickest part, but obviously much thinner because it's a little angled there. So that is your basic comparison between the 2DS, 3DS, 3DS XL. So yeah, I'll be back in a little while, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week or so, once I put this thing through its paces a bit, play some games on it and fiddle around with it, and I'll come back with the full-on review. Let me know in the comments the kinds of stuff you want me to test on this, and if you want me to test them directly up against what they're like on these two as well. But other than that, thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.